Good morning, Travis. Thanks for checking in again with us this week as we are just walking through some scriptures during what's known as Great Week or Holy Week in other circles. Just simply meant to remind us of all the great things that God has done, especially this week, drawing attention to the resurrection and celebrating the resurrection on specifically Easter Sunday. And we look forward to being with you online and being at home with you in your living rooms. But we can't wait to see you again face to face. This morning, the text that we're going to read together is found out of John's Gospel in chapter 13. And it picks up where Jesus has just finished washing the feet of the disciples. And he wants to make sure that they understand the significance of what he had just done. He wants to make sure that they are learning with their hearts and with their minds, and they're able to connect all of the dots, so to speak, as he begins to lay forth his gospel to them. And so he begins after he finishes the act of washing their feet, and he says this, beginning in verse 12, he says, "Do you understand what it is that I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right to do so, for I am. But if I then, your Lord and teacher, I've washed your feet, you also ought to go and to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that you also should do as I have done to you." We see in this moment Jesus giving this teaching instruction, reminding the disciples that their posture in their life ought to be a posture of service and one of humility, a posture in which they ought to seek the welfare of other people. That's exactly what service is. It's just simply seeking the welfare of my neighbor, seeking the welfare, the betterment of my city, of my neighborhood, of my home, of my family, seeking my own welfare as I seek to grow in my holiness and in my walk with the Lord and seeking to be faithful to Him. Service is one of those things that I think we need to be reminded of from time to time, or at least I do, that service often goes unnoticed. Service goes often is best displayed behind closed doors, and all the acts of service that we have committed in our life that no one ever really will know, and that won't be illustrated from a pulpit or won't be seen on social media. Essentially, this is what Jesus is talking about, that service is meant to be done seeking the welfare, seeking the betterment of other people. Service is being committed to that. Service is being committed to the transformation of someone and something. It's seeking to see them become the people that God intends for them to be. This is why Jesus asked this question, do you understand what it is that I have just done? If I am your Lord and I am your teacher and I have washed your feet, therefore you should go and you should be willing to wash one another's feet. My challenge for you this morning, friend, is just simply this. Whose feet, whose service do you go and seek after today? I know that many of us are seeking to serve our neighbors and to serve one another in the context of our small groups, or maybe it's as a ministry leader, people that we oversee. And I just want to remind us in this great week, in this holy week, as we remember the resurrection, that one of the greatest ways that we can imitate Jesus for our world, to display the gospel, is to enter into a posture of service towards one another. I'm praying for you today as you go out and as you serve, and as the Lord gives you opportunities to serve. Maybe it's just picking up a phone and making a phone call today to some people that are in your small group, in your Sunday school class, or in your community group. I love you deeply, friend, and I hope to see you here tomorrow once again.